How do you get your socks dry and not so smelly after you've hiked 20 plus miles in one day? In this quick video, I'm going to tell you how to do that. Yesterday, I spent all day, 14 hours, hiking to Bomber Peak in the Bighorn mountain range in Wyoming. It's in the Cloud Peak Wilderness. And of course, after a long, sweaty day, you end up with socks that are like, now, disgusting, right? And of course I wore double socks to protect my feet, so I've got my right socks here, and then I've got my smart wool socks here that I wore in a pair. And the temptation is when you come to your tent, just take your socks off, throw them in the corner and say, they'll be fine in the morning. Wrong. They're going to stay wet, and they're going to get even more stinky and more awful, and then they'll start chafing your feet. The temptation then is to say, hey, I will hang them in my window here, and they will dry off just fine. Well, they won't. They're going to stay wet because there's nothing to warm the moisture in the fabric and cause the little water molecules to evacuate out of your socks. How do you solve this problem? Very simple, my friends. All you do is take your wonderfully wet, stinky socks, and yes, these are literally the socks I used. I'm not making this up. Bighorn Mountain Range right here is, I don't know, I'm going to film this. We'll see what happens. Have some patience here with me, folks. Have some patience. I just simply, when I'm preparing to get into my sleeping bag at night, I take my socks. Here, I completely undo them, stretch them out, and then jam them into my sleeping bag near my legs, so I'm not completely breathing in stinky socks. And then I jam myself into the sleeping bag, zip it up, and go to sleep. And in the morning, when you wake up and it's a beautiful morning outside, not that the outside is beautiful, but when you unzip and you dig your socks out of your sleeping bag, they are gloriously dry. Like, oh my gosh, how did I dry my socks? Well, and I don't put them all the way in the very, very bottom, way down there, because there's not enough heat down here with my feet. I get them beside my legs, beside my body. And the reason this works is because your body is worth about a 100 watt light bulb, which is actually a significant amount of heat, and cancel tracking, and that heat causes the water molecules to start to vibrate, get energetic, and evacuate the socks, just like. And yes, those stinky water molecules, well, the water molecules don't stink, but the stink, one moment, comes through your sleeping bag, out into the air, and quickly, overnight, dries your socks. I've done this in Antarctica, Kilimanjaro, Elbrus, Greenland, on and on and on. I'm telling you, done it in some crazy places. So if you're just in the regular woods, like the Bighorn Mountain Range in Wyoming, this totally works. Huge advantage is if you dry out your socks, it inhibits the growth of bacteria that causes the socks to smell and also gets your feet infected. So the goal is not just, hey, I don't want smelly socks, I want dry socks. It helps prevent getting foot and fungal infections and all that. So that is a big advantage too, and it helps them last longer. So inhibiting the bacterial growth is a big deal. My name is Aaron Linsdale. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please check out links in the description to my books, as well as my book, Adventure Expedition 1, where I talk about sock drying techniques to keep you dry in whatever adventures you're enjoying in the outdoors. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more info like this.